So what's happening this week? I have my full list of everything that's happening. There's so much, guys. There's so much. So Monday, August 10th, Venus is trine Pluto, and then Venus opposes Neptune. Venus is going to be coming into that like Barbalt's basket configuration that's still present. Tuesday, August 11th, Mars enters Cancer. There's a pivotal piece that we're going to talk about with Mars entering Cancer. Then Mercury opposes Pluto, Mercury's trine Neptune, and the Venus is trine Uranus. So the fact that Venus and Mercury both moved into new signs, they're adding some new flavor to our collective energy. It's very different. I literally felt the visceral shift of Mercury moving into Leo this morning. I'm ruled by Mercury, by the way. Wednesday, August 12th, the solar eclipse in Leo is happening early in the morning. If you are in the inner circle, we will be gathering early in the morning. Not early, it'll be like 10 a.m. I think. What did I put? I don't even remember the time that I put, but we'll be gathering. So for some of you who wish to come join, come hang out with us. Come hang out with us. Mars is sextile Chiron that day, and then Mercury is sextile Uranus. Then Thursday, August 13th, Mercury is sextile Venus. And then Saturday, August 15th, Mercury is conjunct Jupiter. Whew. Lots. I am not a Gemini rising. I am a Virgo rising. I'm perfect. Okay, so we're going to dive in. Let's go ahead and look at the chart here. Okay. You should do it. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't remember. I know there's like a delay in you are perfect, Izzy. So true. Thank you. Thank you. My Virgo rising's like, yeah, I am. Okay. Yes, Virgo rising squad, let's go. I used to, okay, a little side story before we dive in. Bless the people that are watching the recap. You guys get to hear these story times. Can we stop this clock thing from showing up? Because that's so annoying. Why is it doing this? Okay. Hi, Colleen. I used to hate Virgos when I first was studying astrology, and it's because I really struggled with how I showed up in the world. I didn't like myself. That was a good integration point. That was a good aha moment, Meg, where I was like, I hate all these Virgos. Like, they have their certain ways of doing things and they bug me, and they have these like, and I was like, oh, gotta look in the mirror. Okay. Hey, is there any way I can pay you to read my chart? Yeah, so I don't do live natal chart readings because any of my clients here can attest to this. I go really, really deep into the natal chart, and it's not something that I would feel comfortable publicly sharing because we'd be diving into like your soul, and that I don't feel should be on public display for an audience of people. So if you are, thank you, Colleen. So if you're interested in readings, you can access my website. She'll make you cry. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah. Want a sacred container with me. So you can book through the link in my bio. Astramia.me is my website. So yeah, I only have 3 readings open for the month of August. So only 3 left. Now, yeah. That's how you can do that. Yeah, Reina, I would love to dive in for you. That would be so freaking epic. Okay, so we're looking here at Monday. Let's go ahead and open the space-time navigator. Monday the 10th, we have Venus, who just entered Libra at 3 degrees of Libra, making a trine to Pluto in Aquarius. Boom. And then also additionally is opposing Neptune. We'll move to that 4-degree point later in the day. So wowee. Yeah, Venus having moved into Libra and the fact that Mercury just moved into Leo, they're doing a lot of things here. They're doing a lot of things. Venus is like leading the personal planet pack here because we have Mercury and Mars hanging out here, and then our luminary is the moon and the sun hanging out here as well. So The eternal child reading you did resonated so much. Oh, I would love that, LJ. That would be so fun. And thank you, Stormy and Colleen, for hyping me up there. I've read for them and it's so delicious. Okay, so Monday. Let's talk about this Venus trine Pluto first. I love this. I love this energy so much because trines are supportive energy flow. So on Monday, there is this, it's almost, this is what happens with astrology is like, you can't really talk about one piece without talking about the other pieces. And that's where sometimes like the inner mother within me gets worried when people just like go down rabbit holes of reading astrology stuff and they're like not piecing the whole picture together. Because what I'm going to be doing here is reading the full picture of what's going on. So I'm going to separate the parts and then bring it back together. So Venus is our planet of love, of adoration, it's beauty, it's our values. And Venus being in Libra is chef's kiss because of the fact that Libra is the natural ruler of Venus. So it's in its home sign. So it's got this extra oomph to it. You know what Spirit just showed me? And by the way, a bit of how astrology comes through is that visualization that I do when I'm channeling as well. It was like tightening up a corset or like a bustier and like having like a little bit more oomph hanging out on the chest, where it's just like this like little extra kick of support. Venus wants to sort of be seen in this sensual beautiful way. It's very delicious. And so Venus is here in Libra. Very clear communication, diplomacy, communication, and then we've got Pluto in Aquarius retrograde, meaning that a lot of our collective themes, we're doing an internal rewiring of our programming. Venus is ruled by both Libra and Taurus. Same with, and Mercury has a dual rulership of Virgo and Gemini. So, yeah. Dual rulership with Venus there. Yeah. Yep. So again, Pluto in Aquarius is having us do this rewiring. Oh, goddamn gnats. I swear. I have so many traps for them now in my house. Hi, Cathartic. Hello. Okay, so Pluto here is doing this rewiring, and I see this trine to Venus being so supportive where it's like, this feels like the ability to connect with people over the work of rewiring collective patterns. And let me go a little bit deeper on Pluto here, because Pluto is going to be a key piece. And if you haven't been to my live streams before, I really want you guys to be able to understand this information. So of course, always ask questions too, if anything doesn't make sense. So Pluto moving into Aquarius really is inviting in this complete dismantling of what has been our collective blueprinting, because I like to think of Aquarius like the guts of a computer, like the motherboard, like this internal system of wiring and connection pieces. Aquarius is one of the most sensitive signs because it holds the collective consciousness within its picture and is holding that. And so this is about, like, Pluto's all about transformation, death, and rebirth. And there is this collective rewiring that's been going on. A lot of people have been waking up, right? Like fast, right? Because now that Pluto's retrograde, that means the work is now internal. And so there is sort of this reflection that's happening of, oh, what part do I play in the collective whole, the collective conversation? And how do I need to take radical responsibility of rewiring myself so I am of service to the collective good? Okay, it's clicking. Mira, that's what I have. That's what I got going on. They just keep coming. They just keep showing up. And I have like a few of them around here. So this trine here, what I'm feeling is this, because trines create this like it's a stable connection here. It's creating stability. It's creating an equal, I heard like equal opportunity. And this is like a way to, and what's coming through is that this Monday is a great day to actually like begin sharing about, even though the internal process isn't complete yet or isn't fully finished. I heard like fully uploaded, or like rebooting, like it hasn't fully rebooted yet, but talking about the process of this is what I'm moving through. And Venus in Libra wants to talk, right? Libra is a very communicative sign. So there is this part of like, I want to share this and share my heart in this rewiring process. Though I know it's not fully complete, I'm not fully complete in observing this, but there's something about the vulnerability here that is very supportive. And additionally, like, I heard like beautifying the process of rewiring, like maybe creating art out of it, creating music out of it. Like, I just posted a poem over on Substack that feels kind of akin to this, where it's like more, it was a little bit more visceral, but using your art, using your self-expression of this metamorphosis that's happening within you and channeling it into art and beauty and connection and collective energy. Okay, now we also have this opposition to Neptune happening a couple hours later at 4 degrees. So Venus opposing Neptune, this is interesting. This is a little interesting because Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So if Venus is love, Neptune's unconditional love, right? There's no like boundaries around it, where Venus and Libra might say, well, I need you to like dress nice in order for there to be reciprocity, or I need things to be beautiful. And I keep bringing in beauty because Venus and Libra really loves like the finer things in life, like elevated lifestyles. And Neptune retrograde in Aries. Let's talk about Neptune in Aries just for a moment. Neptune in Aries has, oh, thank God. I'm just gonna say, thank God Neptune's in Aries. Literally my entire body just relaxed. Neptune in Pisces was hell for me personally. I'm just going to say that. But Neptune having shifted into Aries at the beginning of this year really invited in this radical act of self-love as healing for the collective, which really is this idea of, instead of being a bit of a martyr and like sacrificing yourself at the altar of the collective consciousness of like, similar to like Jesus, right? It's choosing to heal yourself and love yourself so devotedly that it ripples out. Right. And we've got Liquid Schwartz here saying self-love reflects out. It's a very similar theme to that. And so this opposition here, and now that Neptune's retrograde, it's more of an internal practice where you're meeting the parts of you that may be resistant to self-love. You might have a little bit of sabotaging things coming up during this time where you're like, you know, like, am I worthy of this self-love? But what if I do this? What if I do that? What if, you know, what if I act out? Will you still love me then? And what if I don't do the things that make our life good? Will you still love me then? And then that's where you get to meet those edges. This opposition between Venus and Neptune here is, it's very interesting. Yes, Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune are all retrograde. Yes. And this happens pretty frequently because the outer planets, they're usually retrograde for about half the year. And I just see those as integration points for us to take the work that we've been doing out in the world and reflecting on it and seeing if it's in alignment. Yeah. And Chiron just stationed retrograde just last week. Hi, Dawson. Welcome. So, this opposition is sorry, there's a lot happening in my head as I'm like feeling into this energy. Yeah, it's kind of that, I feel like it's the activation of parts of you, like Venus in Libra wants things to be presentable, wants things to be nice, wants things to be accepted and agreeable. And Neptune retrograde in Aries. Aries is the first sign. It's very primal and it's very about self. It's saying like, well, stop like being somebody else. Okay, this is such a interesting thing that's coming to mind, is like self-love. And this is what Neptune is kind of inviting in. Self-love means your ability to hold all of you in your entirety, which means when you're pissed off, when you're angry, when you're resentful, when you're feeling guilt, when you're feeling shame, and not making it wrong, but sitting with it and holding witness to that. And Venus and Libra can kind of go to this level of like, it's kind of like I'm just like seeing like head above water. It's just like, I'm not going to acknowledge that I've been drowning. And Neptune in Aries retrograde is like, but you are, so don't make it bad. Venus in Libra wants to have a perfect external elaborate, there's like a word, perception, like just how people perceive them. It's like, I want the dinner table to look nice, I want things to be presentable. And Neptune in Aries is kind of bringing in this little primal edge that's saying like, but what if you were messy? What if you cried? What if you weren't seen as somebody really put together? I personally, hi Virgo rising, and second house are ruled by Libra. Whenever I leave the house, I like to look presentable. I don't like being seen in my, like, for the most part, I like live in the same 3 t-shirts at home and like comfy shorts. But I would never go to the grocery store looking like that. Like literally the other day I was at the grocery store and the clerk was like, you look like a goddess and where are you going? And I was like, you never know who you're going to meet out in the world. So I dress to impress. So there's something here about like the breaking down of this that is supported too. It's a very supported by this trine to Pluto that's really saying like, hey, you're in the activation of reprogramming these things. So there's going to be like, I'm literally seeing your brain being like, oh my God, I can't be seen like this. Like, for example, this morning I was outside meditating. I was in my like little, like, I have like boxer shorts that I'll wear. And then like I was wearing like a fuzzy zip up coat. And then my landlord came over to ask me something. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're seeing me in this attire. I'm not presentable. And then I had like, I'm going to be watching his dogs. And so like, I like went into the space and I was like, oh my God, but it was fine. Cause I'm like, that is me. That is a part of me. Like that is, you know, a part. And I'm bringing in these tangible examples because bringing in the lived experience of these is like real. Right. And I love what, Rob said here of if you don't come out of your comfort zone, you'll miss out on a lot of amazing experiences. Another tangible example I want to bring to this is I took myself on a date on Friday and I was so uncomfortable. I went to the most expensive restaurant locally to me, and it's one of my favorites. I love food. I'm a Taurus, notorious for loving good food. And I felt so out of my comfort zone because I wasn't there with anybody else. I didn't look like, I don't know, I just felt like I feel like a fraud. It was weird. It was weird. And so I had to sit with that. And I just let myself sit with the discomfort I was feeling and understanding where that programming comes from. That's what's happening on this Monday. Like, and we can feel the buildup of this, right? Whenever I'm talking about the transits, I'm talking about the exact moment that they're going to be activated, right? So we can feel this buildup probably today already and then the days after as well. So this is just active right now in the collective. It's like actively challenging the limitations that we have around love and then supporting the reprogramming and showing up a little bit messy. Yeah. Thank you, Colleen. Yeah. Solo dates are so important. It was so fun. And I saw kittens. That was why I was going into town, because I want a cat, but I don't need another cat because that would be a form of self-sabotage. I don't need another thing to take care of. I already have a cat. Anyways, let's jump ahead. Okay, I'm going to pause. I was saying a lot of things. Questions? How's this landing for people? Is there anything I need to deepen into? And just a deeper invitation for everybody who's new here. The more you come to these live streams, the more that you will begin to learn the astrology. That's my favorite thing. Like literally seeing Colleen in the TikTok chat right now. Like I know she's been here forever, my sweet friend. Like she's been here. Girl, I've been on the same boat. Universe brought 2 kittens in my reality and it was so tempting. Oh yeah, dude. I'm like, you're gonna have to put one on my doorstep. On my doorstep. Also, check out this labradorite I bought for myself on my date. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I do have to leave. Meg, I'm so glad that you were able to pop in, and thank you for asking your questions. It felt very reciprocal. It felt very beautiful. So I'm glad you were here. We'll catch you later. Okay. You want to eat it? Yeah. It's making me think of the like, I wish with all my heart, you know, from Dragon Tales. Okay. So let's jump ahead to you're awesome. I love that you were a teacher. Thank you. Yes, teaching is my deepest passion. It's the thing that I'm great at. And I understand that like my little side quest of not doing astrology for the time that I did gave me the tools that I have right now to show up for you guys in such a way that like this, like literally I was a remote teacher. So I would sit and actively talk to an audience of like kids ranging many different ages. Kindergarten to seniors in high school. So if I didn't have that experience, I'd probably be a little bit messy here. It wouldn't be as clean and concise as it is now because I got those reps in. Now I'm really settled because Dragon Tales was my whole heart as a child. Allie, let's fucking go. Yeah, Dragon Tales has been coming to my mind. For sure. Full body chills, confirmation, some dragon lineage, potentially. I have that too. Once you get into a rut, it takes effort to get out. Yeah. Taurus things, am I right? Okay, so on the 11th, so much is happening this day. So much is happening. Like this whole week, so much is happening. So much is happening. We're entering the eclipse portal. We're like, bleh. So much. Okay, so first, Mars enters Cancer. I'm not very excited about this. I'm going to be so honest. Mars enters Cancer. Prepare the tiny violin. Yeah. So Mars enters Cancer. Then we have Mercury opposing Pluto. Oh, that was the worst straight line ever. That was a gay line. Okay. Oh, it's fine. I should have just kept it that way. Oh no. Oh no, don't cancel me, guys. Mercury is also trine Neptune. I hope Mars is on my 12th. My soul cat just passed the other week. Oh, LJ, I'm waiting to get another cat until I find her again. Oh, LJ, I'm so sorry. It's almost coming up on 1 year since my cat passed. Felt it. Mars entering Cancer. Let's go. Bring it on. I met a glass blower, and he takes the ashes of like people and turns them into cool things. And I was like, I wish I had like my cat's ashes, but she ran away. She said, I'm out. So, okay. So we've got this trine to Neptune as well. So basically Mercury is coming in as a supportive leg to that Barbalt's basket that we had experienced about 2 weeks ago. Now, again, the Barbalt's basket, for those of you who are unaware, was this pretty intense configuration that we had that really was setting in motion a change of our society. So it's going to be a bigger integration piece that happens for the next year because this configuration is going to meet again next year. So just letting that be known. Yeah, LJ, I feel that. She shows up to me in a lot of my meditations, still in my dreams, certain ways my other cat does things too. He's actually, I've noticed some of his mannerisms starting to change to things that she did. Another thing that I did notice too with one of my mom's cats passing, his brother that's still alive, he's now two-spirited. He literally, his entire personality has changed to fit both of the cats in him. So now it's very interesting. It is very interesting. So I know your kitty will find you in other forms, whether it's through a friendship, another cat, or, guides and pieces like that. Mercury trine Neptune, and then Venus is trine Uranus. So we've got this happening. Okay. So lots of activations. Like the pieces that I want to bring in is understanding that Mercury in Leo is activating our voice, and Venus in Libra is activating the expressing our love. So these activations that are happening with these outer planets, right? Because they're connecting with these outer planets, it's like giving us tangible action towards these bigger themes that have been bigger collective themes that have been moving. So it brings in the personal expression of these, right? And depending on where these things fall in your chart, it's going to be a little bit more personal. So again, Tuesday, let's talk about Mars entering Cancer first. So this is Mars. For those of you unaware, this is Mars. Okay, Izzy, remove your biases. Remove your biases. Mars is our will, our drive. It's how we get things done. And when we put Mars in the sign of Cancer, the way it feels is like you have to move through water. Or like I'm literally seeing like feet like mucking through mud. Like it's like sluggish. It's a bit more sluggish. It's interesting because Cancer is a cardinal sign, so there's more emotional reactivity, but it's sort of like walking in the same spot, in circles in the same spot. Is kind of Mars. Mars like, I'm trying not to be mean. Mars throws temper tantrums instead of taking action. So Mars moving into Cancer, it's like you need to really get clear on your emotional substance and what is real or not, because Mars is going to take action on your feelings, and feelings are great, but feelings are just responses. Feelings aren't reality. I'm like, did I word that wrong? I feel like I flipped them. Emotions are responses to your environment, where feelings are things that like move through you. So it's water stuff. Am I right? So with Mars moving into Cancer, it's really bringing in, I'm all cleaned and really locked in. Let's go, Sam. I'm glad you're clean. You were stinky. I'm just kidding. Welcome, Stephen. And thank you everybody on TikTok for liking and sharing the live. It gets my content out to other people who might enjoy it. Sign to Pisces Mars. Yeah, I feel for you water sign Marses, because I'm just like, how do you get things done? You have to be emotionally stimulated in order to take action on things. And it can be a weird thing because sometimes emotions aren't really like substantial things to build on, right? Because they're fleeting. That's where feelings come in, and like the baseline feeling, right? That's what's important. So we have a lot to talk about with this Mars. I feel like this live stream is going to be really long, so I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. This is what I love doing. I might have to take a potty break, depending on my bladder's capacity, but I really want to name our Mercury retrograde in Cancer, because Mars is about to like activate that in the taking action on things. So I'm grateful that we had these like, I want you guys to flash back to most of like July, right? What was moving in July, because Mars is about to do a little bit of like a crusade. It's like, I'm going to give you a little flag of warning, like a little, you know what I just saw is a like forbidden, you know, the cakes that they do of like weird characters that you'd want to like boink, you know, have you ever seen those like TikTok videos? Welcome Practically Magic. I don't know why that came through, but it's kind of like there's a little bit of there were things that were activated in the Mercury retrograde, like little slivers. It's like you notice the wounds, and now Mars is coming in with vengeance of like, I'm ready to take action on these things, of the things that wronged me, of the people that maybe showed up. So just air of caution of like, let yourself feel your feelings before you do things, right? And as much as we want to be self-aware, sometimes the work, I did say that, Sam. I'll go first. Spirit the horse. No, I'm just kidding. My first crush. Anyways, okay, I'm getting so derailed. I love you guys. This is all new to me, so forgive me my cluelessness, but my Mars is in Capricorn, born in a Capricorn stellium. Yeah, that means Mars is going to be opposing your natal Mars, so there might be a little bit of, it might feel a little foreign to you. Yeah. And I do go deeper in my newsletter. So for those of you who are interested, you're like, well, how does this affect me? Right? In my newsletter, I take everything I share here and I put it in a written format and I email it to you every Monday. I go deeper into how it affects you personally. So if you're curious about that, that's where I really devote that time to people who deepen into that reciprocity with me. You're awesome. Be full of you. Thank you, Practically Magic. Aladdin was the first. No, this is not Astro by Mari. My 10th birthday was spirit themed. Let's go. Okay. So, by the way, for anybody who's hanging out on TikTok, I'm live on other platforms as well. So if you hear me naming things that you're like, who said that? It was probably on a different platform. Thank you for the likes, Stormy. Okay. So yeah, I see Mars sweeping in with a little bit of vengeance in the way of like, I want to justify how people made me feel. And that, oh God, sorry, people in my life ruled by Mars are coming to mind right now. Watch out for those Aries risings at this time. Come on. Okay, welcome. He's your boy. Thumbnail. Okay, cool, we got that. So yeah, Mars is kind of an activator right now. And sometimes the work is actually like emotionally responding, especially for people that really hold back, like expressing how they feel. I almost feel like this is the time for people who like do a lot of intellectualizing of their feelings to fucking get riled up and to say the shit and set things on fire a little bit, right? Oh, Sam. I'm a Taurus Mars too. We're perfect. We're perfect for each other, Sam. So just, just a little disclaimer about Mars, and just understand your feelings are going to be a bit more volatile, especially based off of like where it's moving through your own chart, right? If your fourth house is Cancer, if you're an Aries rising, home environments are going to be activating for you, and like what it feels like to be at home. If you're a Leo rising, it's going to be moving through your 12th house, which might be like kicking up the dust of old angers or old resentments or things that you didn't know you were still holding on. So, okay. So that's the first. Oh my gosh, guys, we're only on Tuesday and I've been live for almost an hour. Damn. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about for this upcoming week, and I'm here for it. So that's happening. Then we have Mercury opposing Pluto. So Mercury having just entered Leo today, technically, if you're watching this live, this opposition is, it's really sort of this greater theme that we'll be talking about with the Eclipse portal, which, by the way, for those of you who haven't yet signed up for the Eclipse portal, what are you doing? I'm hosting a deeper invitation through my inner circle of the Eclipse portal, where each day we're going to be doing work. I'm going to be asking questions. We're going to have touchstones because it's about to get a little rocky, guys. And it's nice to be in a safe haven with other people also actively moving through tumultuous. Is the Eclipse portal container included in the inner circle? Yes. Yes, Colleen. So if you are already in the inner circle, you're already in. You're already in. I just thought, I'm like, it just makes most sense to just add that in there. It's going to be an extra taste, an extra flavor, extra piece of support that I want to offer you guys that are already supporting me and diving into that space. So this greater theme that we're going through is this Aquarius and Pisces axis. So with Mercury joining the team Aquarius, or not team Aquarius, team Leo over here, Mercury's sort of this cheerleader energy. Had to step away. When there's the eclipse, it's going to be on the 12th, and the eclipse portal starts on the 12th, and then will be active until the 27th of August. And we're going to be talking about the eclipse today, so And I will have a full video on the eclipse coming soon, coming to a YouTube near you soon. Mercury opposing Pluto is sort of this activation. It really is. There's a lot of like simmering. I'm feeling, obviously it's Mercury throat chakra, but it's sort of like the irritation and frustration of the reprogramming that's coming up. You might be speaking out more about what has felt limiting to you, where you feel that your light isn't being celebrated. This opposition can kind of create a bit of push and pull around your own internal healing and what you want to voice. So there might be a little bit, what's coming to mind is like separating salt and pepper. Like you're picking grain by grain, trying to like light, dark. And there's sort of this feeling of like, I just want to say what I'm feeling. I just want to speak. I just want to be seen. And that's practically Magick had already put that in the chat, which yes. Sorry, I keep scratching my nose. I like have chronic cat hairs in my nose always. And especially now that he's on my lap, he's holding my hand. Him is so cute. So there is this moment of understanding the importance of your unique voice, no matter what you're moving through in the reprogramming. That's going to be a lot of this Aquarius and Leo axis, is understanding how your unique individual light is of service to the collective whole. And yeah, so that's happening. What else wants to be said about this opposition? Yay! You just joined the Eclipse Portal. Let's go. Welcome. Make a Discord account if you don't have one yet. I'll be sending you some information after this, so keep your eye on Patreon, because I'll send you a personal DM about like setting things up. It's giving theater kid energy, but we're all the star in the ensemble. And the ensemble. Yeah, and it's like a weird thing too. It feels weird because it's like, I want everybody to be seen, but I want to be seen too. And so there is that like rewiring that's happening of like the importance of like celebrating individuality, but also how it connects to the collective. So, and yeah, this day is going to just be giving voice to that, right? Yeah. One of my favorite things, to kind of go off that piece that you're saying here, Kat, and I'm going to read it out loud for people who aren't on Twitch. Sam said, like, you have to sing your voice part even when you're in the ensemble. It's a group effort. One of the things that really helped me in theater, when I was in high school, we were doing Les Mis, and our director, what she did with the ensemble is she said, I want you to make a character at this time period. This is what life was like. This is what they were going through. Create a backstory. Create your own unique individual tone. And that's what you need to sing from. Les Mis is Les Mis, Pluto in Aquarius right now is just Les Mis coded. It's very Do You Hear the People Sing? It's a Viva la Revolution. I talked about it in some of my videos. It's in it. And so like really creating that individuality of like, yeah, how are you going to sing if like you are a widowed mother and you're living at this time and you're feeling oppressed, right? So that's kind of this. And so that Mercury is really activated here. Additionally, Mercury's trine Neptune. So there is this supportive edge that is really bringing in the like, oh, okay, like the unconditional love piece that you've been working on that really is supporting Mercury, saying like it's okay to share how you feel and to express your unique individuality and allow people to witness you when there's still that internal wiring that's going like I'm not sure yet. I'm not even sure who I fully am yet. I'm under construction. Okay, so that trine to Neptune is really supportive of Mercury to allow love to move through you. And it's very interesting because I'm literally seeing like the folds of like your vocal cords, and it's like allowing love, the vibration of love, to move through what you're saying and how you speak. Okay, Venus is trine Uranus at this time. Yummy. So Uranus is in Gemini, and I love Uranus and Gemini, honestly. Oh, are you flipping over? Okay, let me touch your belly. Hi, buddy. Him is so cute. So Venus trining Uranus. This is very, I love this, and it feels like an unexpected perspective shift when it comes to love. Like a very supportive, like, oh, huh, is that what it's like to be loved? Is that what it's like to be received? Is that what it's like to like share in it feels very intellectually stimulating conversations? Because Uranus and Gemini is all about the mind and like new connections, new thoughts, new downloads coming through. And Venus and Libra is wanting to be seen, wanting to be witnessed in this reciprocal energy. And so it feels like there is this charge of, you know what it is? It's kind of like, you know, as kids on trampolines, when you scoot your, like if you have socks on and you scoot your feet on the trampoline and you build up the static and you hold hands and then you touch the like metal and the shock goes through all of you. It's feeling like that. Like there's going to be a collective like uprising of heart-based expression and like deeper reciprocity of like, ah, yes, of course, like if I share this knowledge, if I share this voice of my personal expression of self-love, even though I'm actively going through upgrades and actively going through reprogramming, like it's going to have a ripple effect. It's going to connect to other people. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a second. You guys chat amongst yourself. I have to go potty. And there was something else I wanted to... Oh, yeah. I'm like, I wanted to grab something. I've been journaling about the eclipse, so I want to bring that piece of paper here. So I will be right back. Oh. Okay. Let me get oriented. Itchy nose. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the eclipse. Y'all are getting a sneak peek to what I'm going to be sharing in my longer video, which I'll be sharing. Where's the bug? I see it flying around. He disappeared. Thank you, Stormy. Okay, so now we're looking at the 12th. On the 12th, we have a solar eclipse. New moon solar eclipse happening in Leo at 20 degrees. If you have anything at 20 degrees of a fixed sign, that would be Taurus, Aquarius. Let's look at the Aquarius symbol. Aquarius or Scorpio. It's going to be more activating. I'm just going to name that for you guys. It's going to be more of an activating time for you. It is going to be activating for all of us collectively. Yeah. Okay. So that's happening. We also have Mars. Sextile Chiron. We'll be filling that build. Okay. And then Mercury is going to be sextile Uranus. Yep. Okay. Which signs, which degrees? 20 degrees? Fixed signs. Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. Okay, so let me, y'all are getting the like juice of the eclipse because I haven't, it's on me for not putting out the eclipse video yet. I have been trying to sit with the energy and it just, I don't force content out of me. Like if it isn't flowing, I don't do it because that's inauthentic, and I am my brand and I am built off of authenticity. So anyways, Amanda, welcome. Long time no see. And thank you everybody who's been liking, sharing, commenting, engaging. It makes it more fun. I like talking to you guys. So Solar eclipse. This is when the moon and the sun are meeting. So let's dive into eclipses. They always come in pairs. There's always going to be 2 eclipses that happen within that 2-week period. Again, I am hosting a eclipse portal container. I did one at the start of this year. That was freaking amazing. That was a crazy time. That was intense. We're going to be having a lunar eclipse in Pisces happening on the 27th, which is going to be ending that cycle of the North and South Node in Virgo and Pisces. So we're going to have a lot of new things opening and a lot of new things closing. And so looking at February 17th to March 3rd was that previous eclipse portal. Now, what we're having happen here, this is something I really like to invite people into, is understanding the ancestral response to an eclipse. If you lived without technology thousands of years ago and you were with your community and suddenly the sun disappeared, how would that feel? How would that feel, right? That's what I always like to bring up into this conversation around eclipses, because at a DNA level, our bodies respond to these cosmic alignments in such a way that's like, something's not right, something is off, I need to prepare, I need to be aware, I need to be alert. When we look at this symbolically, the sun, our egoic expression, is covered by the moon, our unconscious expression. Within Leo, did I get it? No. Hold on. Yes! I got it. You can't see it's on the tip of my fingernail. I'm so good at this. Okay. I'm just a cat at heart. That's it. So the sun is naturally at home in Leo, right? So this is amplified energy. It's big, it's bold, it wants to be seen. And the moon crossing over it brings in this question of, what are the unconscious beliefs that are still present that obscure you from shining your brightest? Okay, there's so much to this. There's so much to this. And actually, I want to see if I can find a card within my deck quickly to really represent this energy. How's that landing for people so far? With the South Node in Leo, we're learning to release false self-expression that was cultivated to perform for inauthentic reasons, ultimately. That's what's being activated for the next year and a half. I have a full YouTube video on the nodes switching into Leo and Aquarius that really breaks down this greater invitation at whole. And this eclipse portal, basically what happens for this 2-week period is it's like our aperture is opened. It's like the collective energy container is opened at a big level, and a lot of things come in and a lot of things leave, and then it closes, and the next 6 months we spend integrating what has come through, integrating what's come up. Okay, so this is really a moment. This Leo eclipse is a moment to understand the quality of light that you wish to bring into your field. Come here. Come on, little Leo. Come on. Our little Leo mascot. I'm getting cozy because I think there's something in me that feels really uncomfortable talking about this. So I want to name that. I want to be real and name that, because a lot of our society has been built from this like very artificial light. We can think of our phone screens. We can think about like, the artificial light that we have, like moths to false flames kind of things. And having Leo in my first house and Lilith, you don't know how it'll rattle you. And I don't want to make any predictive thoughts for you, because I feel like it's important for you to just allow it to move through. That's a lot of the eclipses. Like, we can spend our time trying to figure out what it's going to activate in us. And ultimately, sometimes we just need to allow it to move and give us that substance. It's almost like a task, an assignment. Like, it's like, hey, I'm going to activate this thing within you for you to digest, for you to alchemize, right? It highlights that. And so this particular solar eclipse is in the third decan of Leo, which is ruled by Mars. And that's why I was like, we're going to talk about Mars a lot more. So there is going to be emotional activation here. It's going to be emotionally activating. And the rulership of this Cancer Mars, you know what? I'm going to look at something I've been diving into. I'm looking up some degree theory stuff. I'm curious about that for this. Zuni Indians perform a ritual to the sun for this Sabian symbol. This it's a really potent Leo degree around sacred relationship with life force itself, not just being seen, shining, performing, or expressing, but recognizing that the creative fire moving through you is something sacred that you should participate with. Wow. Yeah. It's like understanding the channel that you are for this energy, understanding your participation in this too. Yeah, very interesting. With Mars as well connected to this. Again, I'm like, how do I want to articulate this? Because it's a lot of feeling substance that's coming up, because the moon, again, moon eclipsing the sun, it's covering the sun, it's hiding the conscious expression. So it's like you're getting the opportunity. And I want you to think of this from a visual, like from astronomy, right? We have the Earth, and then we have the moon, and then the sun. The sun is shining on the part of the moon that we can't see from Earth. So it's almost like there's sort of, and the way it feels is like, say, for example, you were suntanning and you were laying on your stomach. It's like your back is getting sunburnt or exposed in a way. There's going to be exposure to the things that you can't see. Boom. And the rulership of Mars in Cancer, it might be activating parts of you that are tender, right? It's like, oh, I haven't exposed this part of me to the light yet. So it's like fresh skin. Now I'm thinking of like chemical peels that people get on their face, and it sheds like the topical layer of the skin, and the skin underneath is always tender and fresh. You're not supposed to go in the sun. You're not supposed to, like, you have to let it heal, right? And there's something about like the exposure of this that feels very tender, of like allowing these parts of you to be seen, allowing yourself to even see these parts and let them be seen. This solar eclipse is ruled by the Seven of Wands, and I specifically wanted to grab this card from this deck because look at it. We've got this lion energy in the background, and the Seven of Wands is all about like conflict and challenges. Me exfoliating my skin when you said that, dude. I just work here, man. This brings up aggression and suppression that are combating your ego and spirit, bringing sort of anxiety to the surface here, right? And this is a battle between your inner values and your outer reality, creating defensive reactions and unrest. This is kind of like understanding that the outside world, right? The collective Aquarius energy is testing and challenging your beliefs and your inner strength. Your inner strength, my friends. This is ultimately the key of this, is to believe and trust your values and keeping them in balance with your actions. the Seven of Wands is like defending what you believe in. And there's sort of a fresh energy. It's kind of like yeah, it is. I love this card. With this being ruled by the Seven of Wands, this solar eclipse is really activating and with Mars being the rulership, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like emotional turmoil that comes up at this time to really activate. What do you believe in? What are you what hill are you willing to die upon? What are you willing to stand upon? I love you, Stormy. Thank you for popping in. You're always in my heart. I'm sending you so much love. What are you willing to stand for, and shine your light for and illuminate and shed your light on? And it might be something you haven't yet done. That's what this solar eclipse is kind of bringing to our attention, is like the energy that you've yet to bring to the surface. Okay. So yeah, ultimately the Seven of Wands is about having the confidence to stand in your own integrity. And it's like this eclipse is really going to be stripping back any false light within your own energy, where you've been relying on certain things. Like, for example, maybe for my intuitives out there, maybe you're like, oh, I'm feeling this thing in like a reading, you're doing a card reading, and then you're like, oh, let me look up if this is right. Let me look up if this is accurate, or I need to go back to the book, or those kinds of things, or you're in a conversation with somebody and you're sharing your truth and somebody says that's not real. So the rulership of Mars here feels very activating. And then on top of this, we've got Mars, right, creating a sextile to Chiron. And Chiron's retrograde in Taurus, which is already activating our beliefs. Not our beliefs, but our values. Activating what we believe we are worth. Okay? It's like, are you really worth that? Are you really... And it's supportive, though. I do want to say this sextile is supporting this. This Mars activation is like giving you the emotional courage to say what you feel, to voice, to take action on your emotions. Where I feel like a lot of people may have put those feelings on the back burner. And I know that I specifically speak to a collective of people here that are on the same path of astrology, right? There's other astrologers out there. If this doesn't resonate with you, I'm just going to name that. This is my interpretation of the celestial events that are going to be occurring. This sextile to Chiron invites in deeper healing around your values. It invites acting upon what you feel you are worth, right? With the retrograde, you're already undergoing that process of I heard restructuring, repricing things, acknowledging your, for some, this keeps coming up with Chiron and Taurus is some people aren't charging what they're worth. And it's one of those edges that can be really uncomfortable around shifting prices, shifting your value, and the doubt that comes up with that. And Mars is really saying you need to take actions on what you feel to be true. Okay. Also, Mercury is sextile Uranus. So there's this downloads coming through on this day too, activating Mercury. Uranus and Gemini is just kind of our antenna, our collective antenna right now. That's really just channeling things through, allowing things to come in, new ideas, new thoughts, new modalities to explore, new inventions. And this sextile to Mercury is really inviting in sharing it. Talk about it. So there might be new conversation points illuminated through the exposure of parts of you that you haven't yet shared. There's this tender, I'm literally seeing there's something inside all of us collectively, an inner child wound that is so much I can't be seen. I'm not allowed to be seen in this expression. I know for me, and I'm going to speak this, Leo is my 12th house, so it's really hidden. And I've always struggled with relating to the Leo energy. And now I'm getting this opportunity to really explore what this looks like. And it really is my spirituality. And it is my gift of what I do here every day with you guys. But it hasn't been acknowledged by different parts of me. And hasn't been acknowledged by the people that have been in my life for the longest. And it's almost something that I've kept hidden from certain people or different places or different stuff, when you guys see me in this all the time. And it's easier for me to do that with my Aquarius moon. I'm just like, whatever. Yeah, Joy. So it's like, I do this professionally, but there's still people that it feels uncomfortable revealing to them. Yeah, I channel collective energy. I work for God, right? It might, because I'm afraid that it's going to trigger people, but I'm here to trigger people. I've accepted the mission. So just sharing that as, like, you know, a tangible example for some of you. Yeah. Again, this sextile from Mercury to Uranus is really inviting in. It feels like sparking things, like sparking conversations. Sparking things, yeah. So it might be activating, like conversations come up that it's like, oh, well, here it is. This eclipse is activating things. And again, this eclipse, this solar eclipse in Leo, is going to be the first that we're going to be moving through for the next year and a half. So the things that are kicked up at this time is the work that we're going to be integrating for the next year and a half. So whatever's coming up at this time, which if you're going to join the inner circle and join us for the eclipse portal, we're going to be writing these things down. We're going to be like, you know, Virgo mommy here is going to make sure that you have homework and you have things that you can reflect back to. Sometimes it feels weird to trigger people wherever you go, but oh well, yeah. And like, yeah, it's just like, it's time for people to get uncomfortable. What I find really amusing for me is the people that I feel that I would trigger the most are the people that usually compliment me. Like I have like, I have gotten more compliments on my pink hair color and my tattoos from people that I would assume that are like older white people that I would assume that wouldn't like that. But they're like, that's so cool. My Scorpio Lilith agrees entirely. Let's go. No, literally, I've always been triggered. People have always been triggered by me, but I own it now. Yeah, and that really is the integration piece of it, right? Okay, wow, I've been live for a while. I feel like this might be a 2-hour live stream, so it is what it is. It's going to be a long work day for me. Let me take a little sip. How are things feeling for people? Just a little check-in. And again, I'm going to have a full video. I'm breaking down this solar eclipse on my astrology YouTube channel, which is Astrania. Yeah, okay. Thursday, August 13th, Mercury is now sextile Venus. So Mercury is, well, by that time it's up. Mercury's moving fast. That's what Mercury does. Mercury is going to make a sextile to Venus. So positive communication around our values, around how we appreciate beauty. There's really going to be just this supportive, like after that exposure of the heart, the exposure of our solar plexus, of our light and our life force energy, and like understanding the purity of that, right? Reclaiming innocence. That's a big piece of this energy. The sextile here is very supportive of like sharing that equilibrium and connection to other. Venus in Libra really is about connecting to others. So, sorry, I'm burping. That drink's carbonated. It just is what it is. Mercury creating this sextile. I really love this because it's like actually feeling safe to speak on these things and name them, and like using the beautiful thing about Libra. I love people that have Libra energy, especially moons in Libra, because y'all just talk about your feelings. And I love it because you guys have this ability. That's how you process your feelings. If you have the moon in Libra, that's how you process it, is like talk therapy is really good for you guys, or talking to people. So this really is that, like, talk about it. Talk about what happened. Share it with people. Talk about it. Okay. Talk about it. That's what this sextile is bringing in, is sharing your light, sharing your voice, bringing conversation, bringing it to the surface, allowing it to be of service to those that you're in connection with, right? One of the most beautiful things has been deepening friendships for me, and like sharing those deeper things that feel scary to share, right? And sharing those and allowing the weight to be lifted off of me because I've shared it in a collective field, and then it's no longer my burden to fully carry, which I'm a queen of carrying my own burdens, but it doesn't get me where I want to go because my capacity is capped. Hi. Oh, him reached up to my hand. Let me see. Little paw, little kitty paw. Hi, Bubba. God, I love this cat so much. He shows me unconditional love. Get him eye boogers out of his eyes. No eye boogers on my pretty boy. Okay. Yeah, so that's happening on Thursday. And then on Saturday, Mercury is cruising. Let's jump to Saturday the 15th. Mercury is conjunct Jupiter, which, boom, expansion of the voice, expansion of like sharing. Like this is like, I'm hearing like your voice heard on high. Voice heard on high. Like there's something about like in the highest, right? This is like megaphone energy. Jupiter's like, you want a megaphone? I got you. Now, I always like to bring a little like energetic warning about Jupiter. Jupiter just expands things, whether it's good or not. He's like, here, you want more cookies? And you're like, I'm trying to lose weight. Like, he's like, here you go. And so Jupiter's going to bring more vocal opportunities for you to use your voice, for you to share your light, share your truth, share. So there's going to be a bigger expansion around vocalizing this Leo energy. Oh, you're going to a party where I won't know anyone on the 15th. Oh, beautiful. And this is in your first house. So like share, talk, do it. Like, I don't think I'm doing anything on Saturday. I mean, I think I probably have a client. You girls booked and busy. I'm blessed. By the way, I only have 3 natal chart readings left for the month of August for anybody who's interested in booking with me. Yeah, this conjunction really is inviting in, like, I'm like, share the thing. This is a potent day for virality, whether it's good or not. You know, viral energy isn't bad or good. It just is. So this is a day of like sharing, putting things out there. There might be a lot of things in the collective field that are really ignited at this time. Propaganda. Okay. What else wants to be spoken to this? Mercury conjunct Jupiter. It feels very playful. Like I was seeing, like what just happened in my mental space was like little kids getting together and like planning to like doorbell ditch, or like, you know, when you get all your friends together and you're just like making plans, gonna play night games, gonna go do like activities like that, like group energy, like small group energy. That's what Leo does. Leo is like a campfire, people gathering around to talk and to communicate. Like there is just like, it's such a delicious time to like share and to story sharing, storytelling, connection. It's very supported here. Like there's a lot of like pouring into the collective flame, adding your unique expression onto the fire, right? It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's giving a little bit of like pyromaniac kind of energy. So like be aware of like how much gasoline you pour onto the fire, right? Because Jupiter doesn't like, it's now I'm seeing somebody like doing the pepper or the Parmesan at like Olive Garden, and it's like let me know when. And Jupiter's like, okay. And it's like going and going and going. And it's like, okay, when, right? So having that level of like discernment of like when enough is enough, like I would say that with understanding, like if you're drinking, know your limit. Like don't go past a certain threshold because you might share some things that might be a lot or might be talked about later, kind of thing. So it's not bad, just know your limits is kind of what is feeling present. And again, we're in that middle of the eclipse portal, so it's going to be a very interesting soupy time. Soupy, like the caterpillar in the goo phase cocoon energy. So you're like, I don't even know really who I am. I'm just sharing. So, okay, I've yapped enough about all these transits. So just a quick recap for there we go. For the week ahead, on Monday, August 10th, Venus is trine Pluto and Venus is opposing Neptune. Tuesday, August 11th, Mars enters Cancer. Mercury opposes Pluto, Mercury trines Neptune, and Venus trines Uranus. Wednesday, August 12th is when we have that solar eclipse in Leo at 20 degrees. Mars is sextile Chiron. Mercury is sextile Uranus. Thursday, August 13th, Mercury is sextile Venus. And then Saturday, August 15th, Mercury is conjunct Jupiter. Lots happening. And again, another invitation for those of you who are interested with the inner circle. I'm going to be hosting a eclipse portal container. It's something I've hosted at the beginning of this year. It's going to be a bi-yearly thing with the eclipses where we meet between those 2 weeks daily, with daily invitations through conversation pieces, through my deeper container within my Discord. So sign up through the inner circle. It's hosted through Patreon. There's limited seats and the doors will close August 11th. Yeah.